Hey, what's up everyone? Marcus here, and I'm still trying to do this type of video. I was going to use this little mic thing, and I don't know, it just sounded aggressive. I didn't like it. Anyways, this video completely about Destiny 2. Obviously, it is ending support. Yeah, it's a little sad. It's something I thoroughly enjoyed, and as you can tell, trying to enjoy, and it's kind of like a bummer, you know? Everything's a bummer. When something's ending, it's a bummer, and I just think it's kind of a bummer. So yeah. Lost my train of thought for a minute. Anyways, Destiny 2. I feel like a lot of things were mishandled, obviously. And I think I might have thought of a semi-plan. Now, bear with me. A semi-plan on how to bring it back when people are ready, I guess. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense. Sounds really stupid. Anyways, Sony, very known for killing online games that they have. Concord lasted, what, maybe like a month or so? I'm not looking that up. So, actually, let me check. Not even a month, that was 14 days. Yep, Concord lasted 14 days. So, pardon me if I don't think Sony is very good with online games or maintaining online games for longer than 14 days. Concord, I never played. I don't have many dogs in this race. It was a game that people said it played really good. It just was, I don't know, controversial, I guess. I don't know, man. But I think Concord should have been out for longer than 14 days because that is no time to tell how good a game is or how good a game could be. There's plenty of games that came out in just a mess and kind of rebuilt themselves into something better. Even Destiny 2 was one of those that came out, no one really cared. Well, people cared, but like it wasn't as big as it became in a way. Destiny 1 obviously did the same thing where it came out, it was a freaking mess. Story was a mess, all that stuff, and you know, it blew up. There's other examples, other games I can't fully think of right now. I did not compare paired at all. So, but Concord's one of the games where it was just axed within 14 days. Destiny 2 is a live service game that had been going on for so long, what, like 10 years or so? Like, that's crazy. And that's not even including Destiny. So that's pretty cool. Saving Destiny 2 will take time, effort, in a way. The issue is leadership didn't care. Destiny was dropping numbers. Like, I fell off of Destiny after, not even after Final Shape, it was after a couple of the episodes, and I was like, yeah, I don't feel like playing it. And granted, my life was going hectic, so that's not even Destiny's fault, really. But also a lot of other games come out and they take your time and stuff. And I think with Bungie and Sony putting focus more on Marathon than Destiny is kind of not a great idea. Destiny is a long-standing franchise. It has staying power. It has people behind it that would go to bat for it, whether if it's good or bad. And there's people that will always return if it's really good. People that obviously will leave when it's bad. And the problem is when you de-invest from something that you can build off of, I think that's a problem. The issue for Sony is obviously making back a big amount of money that they spent on the studio, and wanting other IPs to exist and build is a great and noble option. But a studio like Bungie and them just riding through with Destiny and then making so many errors that them just cutting the thing that's been giving them so much revenue, obviously not a ton lately, but so much revenue within the time, and them being able to, they should just be able to, if you are a developer and if you're higher up, say, you know, a senior leader or something, and you want a game to succeed, what you don't do is take money and people away from the thing that is giving you, like, you have a stable source of income through that game. And when you take so much away from it, it makes it harder to survive, obviously. And what they should have done, like I like to call it the Marvel thing, where regardless if Marvel's doing good or bad, they're still having an idea. They still have like a roadmap. And I feel like after the final shape, Destiny didn't really have a roadmap for the story and everything, as much as they can say, oh, there's more to come and stuff, but it didn't really feel like that. And it just kind of felt like they were moving, and it's like moving without direction. And that was kind of like, the problem that came through. I feel like it's really story-wise, but also number two, the new player experience is terrible. Destiny 2 came out with an entire new player experience built in. It was the campaign, the story was the new player experience. Now, there is not that. There's the new light thing, and it's horrible, Shahan, all that stuff. Just, it doesn't really teach you anything, and there is a lot to know, and that's the problem. I feel like if they went back through and kind of like built a new player experience, whether if it was redoing the entire first campaign or something just to have a new player experience, would be great. But that's probably not going to happen. Obviously, not now, but we're hypothetical here. So when I think about a new player experience, I think about, obviously you have a tutorial, you have all these things, but in order for people to really understand what's going on in Destiny, you have to draw them slowly along with quickly. You know what I'm saying? Destiny's huge. There's a lot of things that people don't need to know and don't really need to care about, because half of your stories are in a fucking like season, a whole seasonal model that you can't play. You have to go to YouTube and watch. That's stupid. I think that's dumb. What I would suggest for new players, do not throw all the new stuff at them. Don't ask them to buy new shit. They don't need it, because they have to get into actually liking the game. And the game is strong with gameplay. The game can be strong with story. So what if the new player experience was just a tutorial, however you want to bring Guardians in, and then, you just kind of move from there to bring them into a campaign that builds for itself for new players. And I personally, go into number 3 here, think that redoing and bringing in the old seasons and stuff into like the Legends tab or whatnot, whatever it is now, I don't know, the timeline, I guess. Putting those campaigns into there and allow people to download what they want. If it's someone who wants to experience the whole story again, they can download all of those parts and have those parts be streamlined. So they can level up, they can get things through it, they can get cool new, gear and all that stuff, and maybe an emblem, a shader and stuff for completing it, and things like that. What you don't do is give people a ton of exotics at once. Don't make legendary fucking common at that point. It's pretty dumb. What's the point? Blue gear's pretty cool and sometimes more unique than the legendaries. But that is my idea for that. And it allows to bring in old content that people, haven't been able to play. Like redo the entire Warmind thing and bring that in. The whole Curse of Osiris. Obviously the Red War thing was kind of like a legal situation. So I don't know about bringing that one in, but bring in what happened. That shit was rough. I don't want you on me, man. Oh, Billy. Big cat. So, number 4. This is a big one. Okay, now we're hypothetically saying that Sony is saying, okay, we'll give this another shot. Because what else do they have to lose? Come on, man. The number 4 thing would be, you can do Destiny 2 or creating a new Destiny at the same time of making Marathon, and not making Marathon, but upkeeping Marathon and making new things for Marathon. Is a game that is in of itself feels like a game mode. Like that's it. Like it feels like it should just be a game mode, and that's kind of like the problem of it. I don't really play extraction shooters, and even in my first Marathon video where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It's kind of like the hard part of Marathon is I didn't know what I was really doing, and maybe that's on me. It probably is on me, 100%. But to me, it does feel more like a game mode than it does like a full game. And I think doing the free week really helps. It does feel like a game that potentially be free, more free than fucking Destiny, because the new player free experience for Destiny is horrible because you can't do anything. And with the abandonment of strikes, Crucible, like all that stuff, Destiny should be able to be what Fortnite kinda is in a way, where it's able to be so many things while still just being it, you know, and still keeping its identity in a way. I think the hard part is, unlike Fortnite, obviously you don't have to put in like fucking Lego racing or something, like things like that. You don't have to do that. I think that would be really dumb. Or these weird custom things. I don't know, it's weird. I think Marathon should have continuous development, but not to the extent that Destiny should have. Destiny is your big IP, your big franchise, the thing that led a studio to being, what, $3 billion, like worth that. You couldn't have done it without Destiny. And yes, you have the backlog of makers of Halo and stuff, but that was so long ago. How many people are still there that made Halo? Like, you can't even use that anymore. You just have a name, and that name has been dragged through the goddamn mud so many times as it's been just smashed in and going in between so many studios and being gotten by Activision after leaving Microsoft and leaving Activision and taking Destiny with you just to diddle around and then going to Sony. Like, the studio doesn't have a great reputation and no one's there for the studio besides the gameplay. That's why the studio needs to become more of a player-first studio where both your games are essentially live service. Marathon is only as good as the people that are playing it, just like Destiny. And Destiny has the ability to be more because it has PvP in it. It has Gambit. It has strikes and singular, easy to do missions that can be, you have to create more of those to bring people who love just doing that stuff. That's something they just enjoy doing, because after the campaign, that you have a big expansive story that you can build if you try, and not having 18 steps that's just going in between things and talking to things. That's not Destiny. It's not fun. Sorry, I was playing the Renegades thing and I was just like, wow, I'm really just talking to people. It's crazy. But I feel like Destiny 2 can be more, and you can create a new Destiny that is built upon everything and improved, that definitely can bring together everything that it's built and bring in a whole new saga for the series or the franchise, the IP. Yeah. Marathon is, to me, not a game that would be able to lead a studio. And Sony isn't really a company that is online first. So I feel like Bungie has a lot against it. They were purchased mostly for their live service abilities, but Concord lasted 14 days because Sony was impatient. And obviously there's a lot of games that can go a year struggling and then being able to revive itself. And I feel like Destiny 2 has gone, since the final shape, it's been at least a few years. And yes, there was some bumbling. It's just hard when you just ended something. I mean, Marvel's still slowly kind of rebuilding itself to being the big Marvel situation. Everything takes time, but obviously time decreases profits, and everything is very profit driven. So I think, to me, Bungie and Sony have to look at what they want to do. And I understand they decided shut down Destiny 2, but now you're shutting down a very large revenue source that has one of the biggest IPs in gaming with it. And you can't be upset if people aren't going to jump to Marathon. I don't know. Guess what I got? Yeah, however you feel about it. If you have ideas or anything, or if you want to send this to every Sony platform available, you can. More to Bungie itself, you can. Whether if they care, they won't. Yeah, sad. You can roast me in the comments. You can give good feedback of what you would do if you were a Sony executive or Bungie executive sitting there in your big money chair thinking about all the ways you can destroy things to make profits. Or you can sit back and realize that this was just an insane rambling of someone who enjoyed Destiny 2 and doesn't like to let things die. So yeah, have fun. See ya.